Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Content Cash Flow Experience. I know some people are trying to find us online. If you had the link directly, I want you to go ahead and make sure that you register. I am going to drop the registration link, and this is so that you guys can get your handout for today or your worksheet that I am going to be going over and covering it. So if you just found me on YouTube and you came straight to the channel, great. I'm so happy that you are here, but I would love for you to have all of the content and information that I am going to be covering today. So if this is your first time hanging out with me, I am Dr. Carolyn Bobb-Green, and I am your business strategist. I teach business strategy through speaking on different platforms, doing trainings like this, and also doing one-on-one consultations for a variety of business types. So if this is your first time here, I am so happy to have you. But let's start this off by first telling me, where are you guys chiming in from? And I know that there's going to be somewhat of a lag or delay, so I'm going to give you guys time to get those comments, and just drop in what city, what state, or even what country you are chiming in from so that we can dive right back in. So if you registered and you are viewing on our live page where it has like all the days on there, in order for you to be able to comment and for me to be able to see your questions and comment, all you have to do is click that button at the bottom of your screen that says watch on YouTube, and it will open it up in your YouTube app or open it up online on YouTube. And then that way you can interact, ask your questions, give feedback, because I'm the type of person that I absolutely love to interact with people on these trainings. It is not just about me sharing stuff with you, but I want to hear about you guys too, so that I can better serve you in this capacity of creating content that is going to bring you in better cash flow. So what I want to get out the way is that you do not have to be a content creator, but you need to create content for your business. And we're going to learn that those are two different things. I'm going to share that with you guys, the difference between business content and personal content, the difference between creating content for your business and creating content as a job, like a content creator. And so I think that sometimes people get overwhelmed with this thing called content creation, and they like, I don't have time for all of this. I don't have time to be making all of these videos, going live, creating all these reels and editing. And here's what I'm going to tell you is, if you are serious about your money, you have to be serious about marketing. And right now in today's time, you either have two ways to really market, and it is either you're marketing online or you're going out into the field and meeting people and marketing that way. And so it is the same concept. You still have to connect with people. You still have to share your message. You still have to get in front of the right audience and the right people. And so when we're talking about this content creation, I don't want you guys to really just focus in on, oh, I have to do it this way or post this way on certain days and show up this way on certain days. I want you guys to think about, what does your business need? What does your audience need from you? And that is how we are going to create. So you're either creating content to be able to go out in the field. Either way, you have to create it. Or you are creating content for online presence. And we're going to talk about what that looks like, and especially in today's time. So let's go over here and see exactly who is here with us today. All right, let's take this one down. All right, we have I Am Dorian Marie Music. She says, I'm here in Texas. We have Elise Anthony 638. She lives in Fort Worth, and she is so thrilled that I am doing this today. Elise and the rest of you guys, go ahead and drop in there exactly. And I'm going to adjust this because I know some of you guys are going to have bigger questions, and at least you're going to be my my little prototype to make sure that this screen is exactly the way that I want it to be. So you guys get a little bit of behind the scenes right there. So let me update that. and make sure that your comments are coming in beautifully. All right, so I am so thrilled to be doing this as well. Before we even get into it, I am in a new space, in a new office. I know some of you guys who have watched my lives for a long time usually see me in my home office, or AKA my bedroom, with my box in the background. And I have been working hard behind the scenes to bring you guys more content. And this is one of our content, this is one of the content creation spaces that I'm going to be using to bring you guys more training like this. And like I said before, if you don't have the worksheet, I am going to pull it up on screen to be able to go through it. But I do want you guys to click that link, register, so that you can continue to get notifications and emails from me whenever we have that. All right, Elise Anthony, yes, you met me at last month's masterclass. Well, welcome. I am so happy that you decided to hop in on here and decided to join me here to today. So this thing we call content. Let's get into it. In the comments, how many of you guys have felt like extremely overwhelmed with trying to keep up with posting? And I'll give you guys a second to answer that. How many of you have felt like, I feel overwhelmed by it? Or you wake up and you're like, oh Lord, what am I going to post today? And I know I got to post something. I got to put something out there. So what am I going to put out there today? And am I the only one in the world that have experienced that before, where it's like, what are we even doing? Yes. Oh, we almost traded glasses. Oh, yes. Now I remember you. Guys, that's what I love about being live. You know, this interaction and people hopping on. Yes. Okay, yes. We almost traded glasses in Dallas at an in-person masterclass. Yes. So how many of you guys have actually felt that way? As a business owner, we are so busy in the field serving our clients sometimes. And sometimes we are so busy creating the product. We're creating books. We are creating websites and landing pages. We're creating courses. We're creating this. We're showing up for one-on-one coaching. We're showing up for clients. We are, if you own a store, you're putting your store together. If you are a consultant, you are consulting here and consulting there. And you're like, when do I have time to create content? When do I have time to be doing all of these things that Carolyn is going to get into today? And here's what I'm going to tell you. If you don't make time for this, you're never going to keep the eyeballs fresh on your page or getting new clients. And here's the thing, when you post on social media, everybody is not your ideal client. Everybody is not your person. And so you have to weed through all of those people that are online just to attract the people who want what you have. And here's another reality is not everybody who likes your stuff and follows you and really hypes you up is going to actually purchase. So the bigger question is, how do you turn that content that you're creating into actual cash flow? How do you convert them into buyers? How do you make them fully understand what they need is what you got? And that is what we're going to dive into, because once you get that understanding, once you really sit down and create strategy around your content, then that cash will continue to flow in your pocket. Why? Because you're strategic about how you pull people in. You're strategic about how you really connect with them. You're strategic about how much you give and how much is waiting on the other side. You're strategic about showing up with consistency around the schedule that you already have. And I'm not going to even mention that some of you guys may have what I call funding sources, aka 9-to-5 full-time jobs or part-time jobs, and even building around that. And so with that being said, many of you may feel like this is a hamster wheel that you will never get off. And what I want to do is take that out of your mind and have you change your mindset to understand that content creation is just your marketing plan. It's your marketing plan. It's your flyer. It's your networking. It is getting into different groups and rooms and posting on the way. It is your platform to be able to stand up with your megaphone and say, hey, look at me. This is what I do. And the reason why I feel most people don't want to do it is because they're not confident and secure in what they have to offer. Because if you're secure in what you have to offer and you know who your ideal client is, you don't mind sharing and talking about it. You don't mind stepping out there and just doing what you have to do and not worrying about it being perfect. I played this whole going live on YouTube over and over in my head because I'm so comfortable with going live in Zoom and having people in a Zoom setting, but actually putting it out there for anybody to land on this page, that's kind of risky. I can have haters that hop on. I can have people saying negative stuff. I can have people asking questions that I'm not prepared to really dive into because we don't have enough time. Anything can happen. But I am so convinced that I am the best at what I do, whether there are people who are better than me or not, that I am willing to risk it all just to connect with you, the very people who are on here today. And ask yourself, are you willing to put it on the line? Are you willing to shout that I am a speaker? I am a consultant. I am a singer. I am a writer. I am a boutique owner. Are you willing to share that with the world? And if you're willing to share that with the world, that is the first step to being consistent and showing up and getting people into your offer. And getting them into the thing that you want to actually sell them. Would you buy something from a stranger? Yeah, you would. If they give you enough information and if they're convincing that you are who they are going to solve the problem for. I have bought from people that I've watched a couple of YouTube videos from. I've bought from people that I've seen on Instagram. Why? Because their message was clear and I knew that they were talking to me. Do your people know you're talking to them? Or are they just comment people, hype people, people who just like to put stuff in the chats, but they'll never take the step to be a part of your ecosystem? So today, what are we going to be doing today? And I'm going to tell you guys in the comments, if you're watching here live and you're on here, when we get into these conversations, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask questions because I want to be here to support you guys over these next 3 days. Yes, it's only 2 hours, and which is going to be kind of hard for me because if you know me, I can get into some stuff, and I believe in not gatekeeping, not leaving nothing on the table, making sure that every question gets answered. Hey guys, when you guys are speaking, I know your handles come up, but put your name in there so I can see exactly who you are. Your pictures are so small. When I put them on screen, I'll see. But yeah, everybody, it's good to see you too. It's good to see you too. So let's get into the handout. And again, if you do not have this handout, I am going to copy the registration link into the comments so that you can register. And then once you register on the thank you page, it will give you the actual handout that's in there. So what are we going to be covering today? You guys should have your handouts right in front of you. And I've even printed out my handout to have it right here, even though it's on the screen. So we have done the welcome and the reality check that everyone, Elise Anthony, yes. Elise, like you said, I remember you from the masterclass. Melissa, Dr. Melissa, hey! It is good to see you, friend. It's good to see you on here. So today, what are we covering today? We are really getting into getting clarity on your content and finding your strategy. I know the gurus will tell you, oh, you have to post like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to do that. But you guys are, okay, Okay, so you weren't able to get this handout from the page, but you were able to get the, and I'm not sure if I can drop it here. I will get the link to the handout, Melissa, and I will put it in the comments for you, and make sure that that page is actually working. If anybody else had trouble downloading the handout, please let me know, and I will put the direct link in there. I think I have the link right here. Let's grab that, because I want you guys to definitely be able to download that. We can always check. Hey, I'm your tech girl. I want to make sure you guys get everything that you need. So she was able to get the bonus, and I'm going to talk about that bonus as well. That bonus is something that yesterday I decided to go in and add for you guys. It's actually from one of my paid master classes. All right, let's see here, Melissa. All right, Melissa. Thank you so much. Look, Melissa says she was doing her homework. Hey, there's sometimes some glitches with things, and we're going to go ahead and apply that. And so, Melissa, go ahead and refresh that page, and you should be able to download that handout. Yep, it is ready to go, and the bonus is there too. And I'll check the one for tomorrow as well. So if you guys registered on that page, you can go ahead and get that download for the day one. So it's the bonus and the day one that is on the on that last registration page. And if you check your email and you registered, it is going to be in your email, the link to that play page, and the handout is working. So go ahead and download that handout. You know what? I love my people when they come through and they're like, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. So thank you, Melissa, for letting me know that. And it is working now. It is working now. So, the same issue with the first handout, the second one worked. Okay, yes, so it is working now. So you guys can go ahead and grab that. And so basically it has our agenda to know, yep, that works, you know. There we go. And so even your techiest person has a little bit of tech, but hey, I'm all about getting in there and solving those problems. Now, today we're going to get into your clarity with your content. And here's what I want to, and here's the reality check I want to give you. If you are taking advice from a content creator, remember they are different than a business owner who is creating content. So they're getting paid to post and post and post. They're getting paid for the comments. They're getting paid. They usually have UGC content, so they have to get a lot of views. They have to constantly be engaged with their audience. But when you're a business owner, your strategy is just a little bit different. And so I want you to understand that you have to get into your own workflow. I want to free you. One second. I want to free you from the thought and the stress that your posts have to be perfect. The stress of it has to be overly edited. People like organic stuff. I will do a talking head video in just a sec. At any minute, I will go live any minute. I will post whatever's coming to my mind that is connected to my business. I want to free you from the perfection. It doesn't have to be perfect. But what it has to be is crystal clear when you go forth and explain to people what you do and how you can help them. And I think that we're so worried about the CapCut edits. We're so worried about the edits. We're so worried about the video having all these transitions. But what we're not worried about is delivering the content and the message that is going to attract our ideal client. So while you're over there trying to make that perfect video, trying to say the perfect thing, what you're doing, you're missing the point. And the point is to get more clients as a business owner. Is it not? Are we just trying to get views? Because if you're trying to get views, I'm sorry, you're on the wrong training today. I'm talking to my business owners. I'm talking to my people who have products that they're trying to sell, services that they're trying to sell. And yes, we do want to make a little money here and there from affiliates, from views and stuff like that. But your main cash flow is your products. And in order for people to know about those products, you have to create content that educates people and let them know what services you have to offer. Yes, you do. You have to connect with them. You have to make them fall in love and trust you. So the reason why I came here today is to kind of clear up that you do not have to be this perfect creator in order to put out valuable things that is going to draw your ideal client. Free yourself from that. Put sticky notes on your mirror and say, I don't have to be perfect. I just got to get my message out there. And I want you guys to just think about social media. We see people eating. We see people fixing their hair. We see people shopping in the grocery store, feeding their kids. What makes you think that your content has to be so perfect in order for someone to buy? As a matter of fact, the more polished and perfect it is, the less real you are. People want to know that they're not playing with AI. They're playing with a real person. And I know many people, I've been asked this before, is this Carolyn's AI? No, it's me. It's me for real. You will never see me. That's just not my thing. Like, I love AI and I create AI images and I use it for different things. But one thing you will probably never see that I create an AI avatar that is speaking. This is me. Real me here live with you, sharing with you what's going to get you more cash in your pocket. All right. So get clear and understand that you need a strategy. So on the page, I put a little quote on there and it says, stop guessing what to post. Today, we build the content foundation so you can show up with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Clarity, knowing who you talk to and what you're going to say. Confidence, believing you are the baddest at what you do. In the comments, I want you guys to tell me, what are you the greatest at? What's your thing? What's your thing? I want you to be braggadocious. I know on many lives that you get on, they don't want you to tell what you do because they're afraid that you're going to get their people or your marketing. I want you to market yourself today. I want you in the comments to tell me, what are you confident in? I know I'm confident in business strategy. I'm confident in sharing wisdom, imparting wisdom to people. I know that I'm confident in my tech strategy and my creative strategy. I am a creative at its finest. And that's why I love to strategize with different people's businesses, because my mind is wired differently. I come up with all kind of wild things in my head. And so I want you in the comments to tell me, what are you confident in doing and delivering? And I want to highlight you. I want to bring your what you do up to the screen so that people can celebrate you, connect with you. Yes, radical encouragement. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm going to let you guys drop that in the comments and I'm going to pull it up in just a second so that we can share. So as we are being confident, then being on purpose. So if you've ever been to my Passion, Purpose, Profit workshop, if you haven't, don't worry, it's coming back thanks to Karen, the breath coach. She put me on blast and co-working the other night. She's like, so when are you doing that again? It's been some time. Yes, it has been some time, only because I've been bringing new content, but it's one of my original workshops. And when I talk about purpose, okay, so we all have passions, right? Some of us are teachers, some of us are singers, like some of us are writers, but purpose is the path in which you use it. So I am a teacher at heart. I love to teach, but teaching doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be in a classroom. And for a long time, I thought that was the only way I could use my passion. That's the purpose that I had. And it was like, no, your purpose is broader than that. Your purpose is to educate adults and educate young children, but mostly adults in caring for young children and adults in their business. So when we talk about purpose, it is how you use the path in which you go down, the road in which you go down with your passion. So just because you're a writer does not mean that you have to write a book. You can write poetry, you can write scripts, you can write movies, you can write courses, you can write. So purpose is actually the path in which you use that passion. But if you're not clear on what your passion is, you're definitely not going to know what your purpose is. And then therefore, that's where that cash flow gets stuck. And so, yes. So in the comments, come on, friends, drop in there what you are confident in helping people do. What you're confident. And don't be shy. I see that we have a lot of viewers on here, but a lot of quiet people. Don't be just eyeballs. Come and engage. And so I'm going to bring those up in just a second. So, have clarity, confidence, and purpose in what you do. And that is what's going to allow you to know what to post each day. So, let's talk a little bit about content, business content versus personal content. And here's where I want to draw the line and help you to be clear. So many of you guys have a professional page or your personal page, right? Then you have your business page. And so the question that I get is, well, Carolyn, all my people are on my personal page, But here's the thing, your business page filters through the people who are not aligned to what you're teaching and your philosophy, and puts them in a special place to be able to get your information. On your personal page, you have friends, you have family, you have people that are not going to use your services. And what starts to happen is the people who engage with you the most are the people who are going to see your content the most. So on that page, the same people keep seeing your stuff, and those aren't your ideal clients. And so whenever I ask somebody to follow my business page, don't just follow me on my business page because you're like, oh, I just want to follow you. Follow me because you're really interested in my content. And that way the algorithm can bring in more people like you to follow my page. So on here, we're going to talk about a little bit about business content versus personal content. So on your business page, and everyone should have a business page. A business page. That is, you can have multiple business pages if you have multiple businesses. And so when you're developing your business page on Facebook, you are basically curating your content for that particular business. Okay. And so I know you're like, well, but my following is on my personal page. Well, are you getting conversions on your personal page? And if the answer is no, it's because you're not curated enough. Now, when we start talking about other platforms, like Instagram, TikTok, even YouTube, those are not connected in per se to your personal page. They are standalone. And so I always tell people that you need to have a Facebook business page that is connected to your Instagram business page. And then you have your TikTok business page. You have your channel that's on YouTube, but making sure that your business pages are separate from your personal profile. Now, can you have a personal Instagram page and a personal, professional / personal Facebook page? Absolutely. But the content is different. The content is different. And so that is what we are going to really lean into. What is the difference? So I want to start with your personal page because that is where people get confused. They're like, well, what do I post on there? What do I share on there? So it can be unrelated to your brand on your personal page. It's your personal opinions, your personal thought. But I always tell people I'm always on brand. I'm always on brand. Why? Because being on brand is just who I am. And so when I am sharing on my Facebook professional or personal page, I am sharing my thoughts, but it's like always like people are like, that's just Carolyn. That's how I show up in my business. That's how I am. I share things that are going on with my family and my friends. I share like entertainment, but it's not really tied to my niche, but it is tied to my niche. It is my religious views, sometimes my political views. Like, I'm not a political person, so I try to keep that different. I am political, but I don't share that on my page for personal reasons. And I'm not like heavy into sharing religious beliefs, just so that people won't think that I am some type of religious leader. But I do have views, and I have point of views, and I do share those things that are there. Unrelated hobbies and interests, and because I'm always on brand on my personal page, I do share that, you know, these are things that I'm into, like my planners and buying cameras and things for content. And yes, it is sort of related to my business, but it's because that's just who I am, and I am the same person every day as I am when I show up in my business. So with that being said, can you share posts from your business page to your personal page? Absolutely. Just like you would share a Walmart post, or just like you would share if there is a festival or a concert going on, you would share it from your business page. Well, share it to your personal page from your business page. And so I love to share content in that way, because then I give myself an opportunity to comment on it, as well as share the business language. And then that way, if I have any friends and family who really love that piece of my business, then they can go and follow that page in detail. Don't think that I'm going to give away strategy and all those details on my personal page. You're going to get to know me better, but you will see glimpses of my multiple businesses, because that's who I am. So it's just like a person who works 2 jobs. So when they go to work, they may talk about their job at Target, and then they may talk about them door dashing. And so they don't, you know, it's not that they want to share their business. That's just who they are and how they show up. So on my personal page, I do show some behind the scenes of me getting ready for work and waking up, and my camera being right there and all of that, because that's me, Carolyn, as the employee, the CEO, the CFO, not necessarily what I'm offering inside of the business. So when you're confused about what to post on your personal page, just think about just who you are and what you do. Can you show things that you're doing in your business? Absolutely, you can. But you want to keep it clean from being your business page and advertising all your stuff on that page. You should be sharing it from your business page to that page. Even on Instagram, I will share stories from my business page to my personal page, so people can know that I'm connected, just like I would if it was any other business. I am a CEO that owns multiple business. I want you to get to know me. And when you know, trust, and like me, you will find yourself in one of the businesses that I have to offer. So if you're not in early education, and I post and I share to my page that I'm having an early childhood conference, you're going to be like, oh, that's cool, I'm going to like that. But I'm not going to go follow that page because I'm not in early education. So I have weeded out all the people on my page who are not interested in early education. But when I talk about business strategy, and when I say, hey, I'm getting ready for this workshop, you know, this is me behind the scenes, everyone who is struggling with content right now is going to be like, okay, let me go and follow that and watch that. I'm going to go follow Carolyn's business page because I want to know more about it. All right. So what about your business page, your professional business page? All right. This is where you have your offers, your service, your results, your client wins, your education, what you're teaching, your behind the scenes of your business, your story that is tied to your niche. So this is where you talk about the business specifically. So what I would have shared on my personal page today would be like, I'm getting ready for another workshop. And so I'm coming in, I got my Starbucks, okay. Yeah. So Starbucks, if you are checking out this video, I might tag you. Yes, I am getting my drink. My drink order, if you want to know, is a venti iced blonde vanilla latte with vanilla sweet cold cream foam and extra caramel drizzle on top. So on my personal page, I might be talking about the fact that I have to stop and get my coffee. I always get a Trenta ice water, and I put a Crystal Light in there, and I put it into my pink Barbie Stanley cup, like really on brand, right? And then I have my water right here. And so I might be talking about this on my personal page. But then on my business page, I am going to put the actual content cash flow thing up, or a picture of me, going live in here saying I'm getting ready to do this thing, and then saying, hey, go ahead and join me on there. But on my personal page, I am just sharing me getting ready for it. It's me, Carolyn. So understand the difference between your business content and your personal content. And because I love sharing that, you can say, well, I'm not really a personal. I don't want people like getting to know me behind the scenes and all that kind of stuff. But I love, posting on my business page and sharing the things that I do. And then that is how you, that's how you distinguish between the two. Like, I'm going to tell you, and even when it comes to personal, you can't even say, oh, I don't want people in my business. I don't want people. I think that I draw a very fine, I draw a line in between what people know and what they don't know. And I tread very lightly. Like, people really don't know about my, personal life. They know that I have daughters because they see my daughters in the business. And some people are like surprised when I say that I have 2 adult daughters. Yes, I have a 22-year-old and a 21-year-old. I'm a grandmother. I have a grandson. I talk about my grandson on the page. Me and him have Lola and Mason time. I talk about, the family things that we do. Me and my mom are extremely close. She's actually the CFO of my organization. So I talk about us and our travels and what we do for business. My parents live with me and support me. They helped me raise my kids. But I really don't talk about other personal things. But yet people still feel like they know me. So you can still draw that personal line in between and not expose everything, but expose enough where people feel like they can trust you and they like you. And I would say, like, rarely am I like a unhappy person. So like 85% of the time, this is the Carolyn you're going to get. Unless I'm in deep thought. So like sometimes people will catch me like right before I perform or right before I do a class, and I'm like in deep thought and I'm just like real quiet, and then I'll like come out of it. But that's just a percentage of the time. Most of the time, this is who you're gonna get. I will talk to a stranger. I will talk to a fly on the wall. Like, hey fly, how are you? And so that's what you're gonna get, and that's what shows up on my personal page. So let's take a look at what some of our people are doing. All right, so here, let's see. Oh, look at here. All right, so we have provide radical encouragement. Man, Elise, I need you to be my hype girl. Like, be radical encouragement, not just like average encouragement, radical encouragement. So can you actually see her coming behind you, just like you got this? Everybody needs a hype man in your life. So like, if you guys are looking for that radical encouragement, like, hop over there to Elise Anthony. All right. Melissa, she is a confident in helping adjunct professors reclaim their time and teach with confidence. So if you are a professor or trying to get into that arena, or you are burnt out and feel like that's all you do, I know even for those who are like on that hamster wheel of not actually getting tenure, I've been there before, and you're like, oh, I've been an adjunct for 32 years. Like, no, I'm just joking. And she's going to help you reclaim your time and teach with confidence as an adjunct professor. And so she can, when she is on her page, she can say, hey, are you an adjunct? Are you working at your local community college and you feel like it is taking up so much of your time? Yeah, that was me too. So come along so that I can help you. Another thing that she can get into is actually, teaching them how to teach with confidence. I know it can be very intimidating, especially when I remember when I taught my first college course, everybody in there was like twice my age. And I was sitting there like, what can I tell these people about anything? And so, teaching with confidence is something that she wants to. Then we have I Am Dorian Music, and of course she is Dorian Music, so her thing is music. So if you guys are looking for some neo soul music, hop on over to her I Am Dorian Marie page so that she is so that you can listen to her new album being released. And so what would she do? She would talk about, like creating the music. She could talk about, the new album and what it includes, and packaging it, how to download it, tutorials on how to get her music, and even doing some collaborations with tech people on like how do you grab music and add it to your reel so that those creators can get royalties. And so those are some things that could be created on her business page, and then on her personal page, just sharing like the fact that she loves to sing. All right, we have manifesting specialist. Oh, like come through with the manifesting specialist, being able to bring things to life. And this could be a little funny, but also be serious. My mom always tell me, oh Lord, if she say it, it's gonna happen. And some people don't believe that they have power in their words and what they're able to do. And so she can give some prime examples of how manifestation is a real thing in real life, and not just some type of witchery or crazy work. It is something that people need to specialize in if they want to see great things. All right, you living intuitively, deconstruction religion specialist. Okay, getting out of the norms of things that are we feel are the right things, and what we are doing is we're doing these practices and not really understanding what the spiritual work that needs to be done. So we have people that, deconstruction is talking about like people who go to church every Sunday, but there's no change. They go to church every Sunday because it's just like a routine, but they're not really becoming better human beings, and they're not really doing the things. So there's content around that. All right. And then we have through breath work. Oh, come through Karen, the breath coach. She guides people back to their body through speaking, open space, where you begin to see what is possible. Yes, I can see some good collaborations between you and intuitive intentions with breath work, being able to manifest things, seeing things that are possible. And then we also have Karen that posted she has multiple business. Through her book, she offers words that make you feel seen and gently change. And through my magical miniature gardens, yes, her magical gardens, we take your dreams and place them into something you can see, touch, and believe. And so when she is developing these things, and so a lot of people will ask me this, can I have one page for all things? It depends on what you do. You cannot cross businesses, and yes, it means more work, but when you open up another business, you are committing to doing multiple pages and multiple things. You cannot just say, I'm going to take a shortcut and just leave it there just leave it there. You have to have multiple pages and show up with those pages, and depending on the atmosphere and the things that you are actually doing. And so when we are looking at our business content, if you have two, like her miniature gardens is different from her breath work. They may tie in together, but selling a service is sometimes met with selling a product, but sometimes they can be two separate things. And I'm going to tell you, I have different pages for what I do because I don't want to confuse people who are my ideal client. And the thing is you have to show up as those different personalities to different places and know which personality has to show up. So when I go into a room with women leaders or whatever, I don't show up as Carolyn, the early childhood Miss Carolyn. So I do have a Miss Carolyn page for early educators. And I don't show up as Miss Carolyn, the early educator. I show up as Dr. Carolyn Bobb-Green, the business strategist. And so whenever I show up in that room, I don't show up as Carolyn Green, the boutique owner of Style It Up Boutique, of Teachertopia Boutique, of Teachertopia Store. I show up as Carolyn, the business strategist. And so you have to know how to turn those on and understand that there's different entities. And what I want to tell you now while we're talking about this, because I'm all about giving strategy and I want you guys to be very clear about this. When you own multiple businesses, even with your personal page and your business page, allocate days to schedule posts so that you do not have to show up every single day. What do I mean by that? So when I look at my schedule, I love to lean into, all right, on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to create content for my boutique, and I'm going to go ahead and schedule it. And then that way it's enough content that when I'm working in my early childhood business, that content is still posting for me, even though I'm not able to post every day. So we have to figure out what strategy we want and how we want to show up so that we can do that. Now, I kind of alluded to this and got into it a little bit different, but understanding if you are a content creator or a business owner who creates content. Okay, so I can't tell you this. You have to be able to determine this, because the way you show up is different as a content creator than as a business owner who creates content. Okay. All right. Content is the product and the brand. So if your content that you're creating is like the actual content is what you do, it is a must that you show your lifestyle. It is a must you show you getting in your car, getting out, because brands are going to want to see your everyday life and to see if their brand fits into it. Then you are a content creator. But if your content is to market the product or the service, you are a business owner who creates content. Okay. Revenue. How do you make money? Or is your only goal to make money through ad revenue, sponsorships, and views? Or is your revenue going to be clients, sales, and programs? Okay. So I hear people like, I'm a content creator. Really? Are you? Are you a business owner who creates content? Every business owner should be creating content. And don't think content as just social media. Content is presentations. Content is what you're going to say, your 2 to 3 minute message whenever you go to networking, when you meet people in the store. All of that is content, because it is how you deliver your product. It is how you deliver what you do to individual people. Okay. What is your goal? What is the goal of your content? Is it to grow an audience for monetization? That may be an additional goal, but if your goal is really to attract your ideal client to buy, then you are a business owner who create content. And who I like to work with is business owner who create content, because I want you to understand it is not about how many followers and likes you have. It's about attracting the right person. I've seen people with like 30K views or 300,000 views, 1 million views, and not one sale. So ask yourself, are you trying to attract your ideal client to buy, or are you just trying to get monetized? All right. Content creators have a broad appeal, and it's entertainment driven. And business owners are niche focused and solution driven. Okay, so I'm going to get this word niche. I'm going to go on my niche tangent. Niche for that particular business. It doesn't mean that you're niched. Okay, because I'm not niched at all. Not one bit. I have multiple talents. I can do a lot of different things. But in that business, particularly, I'm niche focused. So I can't show up to my boutique going, okay, yeah, I know you're here, but today I'm going to talk about business strategy on my boutique page. They're going to be like, what? I came here to shop. I ain't come here for that. And so you have to be niche focused in that particular business that you created, not niche focused as an individual person. Okay, so I want you to understand the difference between the two. You have to niche down in your business and know who your ideal audience is so that you can get them a solution. But that doesn't mean that has to be the only business that you have. If you're here with me, I am a multi-passionate business owner, aka a passionpreneur. You hear me? A passionpreneur. That means that if I have a passion for it, I am going to make money from it. I'm going to develop a business around it. It may not be right now, but it's coming soon. It's coming soon. And so what I do is I roll out different businesses as time allows me to. Like after one gets established, I'll layer another one on. And I have some seasons where I roll back in all the businesses and I kind of take a pause and reevaluate and figure out where we're going next in the business. But either way, I have multiple niches that I'm interested in. But when I show up to a business, to a certain business, I show up with information that is going to help that ideal client. Like imagine you guys signing up for content, Cashflow, and you got here and I started talking about clothing. You would be like, what is happening? Did Carolyn lose it? Did she lose her marbles over there? What happened over there? So you have to be niche focused within the business. And then consistency. Their consistency is survival. If you're a content creator and you don't create content, you're going to die. Not like physically, but your business is going to die. So your consistency should be about visibility and trust. So it looks a little bit different. So when people talk to me about like the consistency and how much I post, I always tell them it depends on the business. Oh, well, you're supposed to be posting every day. I don't see you posting every day. I don't see that you have. No, because I'm intentional. I post what I know is going to drive people. I go live. I create tons of different types of content. I send emails out. My list is over 20,000 people. So when I want to sell something, I can put it out to my list and get some buyers. I can put it out to my list. I can go live in an audience. This weekend, I'm going to be in front of 700 professionals. I'm going to sell from that. So when you talk about consistency, that may look different for each one of you. So right now, there's a shift in my business, and I can tell you guys this. I'm going to be real with you. I want to stay inside more. I want to be in the house, not my house, but in my city more. And so because I want to be in my city more, I want to do more local grassroots marketing for my businesses. And I also want to come with an online presence more so that I don't have to travel as much. I want to travel for luxury. I want to travel for fun and excitement. And yes, this is a new age. Yeah, because I have a grandson and I want to see him grow and I want to see him, the things, and him come into my room. Like the other morning, he was like, come on, Lola, get up, Lola. Let's go have coffee. And the fact that he's talking more, and I know that's contributed to him being around these higher level conversations. I want him to be in rooms that are in conversations from the time he's a kid, up until an adult, so that he can have a mindset that the sky is the limit. He can do whatever it is that he wants to do. And so because that has shifted, I now know that my consistency on social media has to change to reflect the goals of my business. Whereas before, posting wasn't even an important thing because I knew I was going to be traveling and meeting people. I was going to get clients. I was going to get contracts. I was going to, I'm good. But now that I want to change that business model, my consistency and my visibility is going to have to look a little bit different than it has in the past because the goals of my business have changed. So it's not about that whole survival. It's about visibility and building trust that I am your person. I know if you've met me in person, you trust me, right? Pretty much, because when I'm in person, I make you feel like that's just what I do. I love people. I love that contact. But if you met me online, it may be a little bit different because you may not have seen me online as much, or maybe you did, or maybe you've come to my lives and other previous workshops when visibility was an important thing to me. But understand, you have to know what your goals is to determine the consistency that you need to show up online. But you need to be consistent. Whether it's once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, people need to know where to find you. How can I get my breath work? How can I hear Dorian's music? How can I get that adjunct professor tips? When can I get them? Is it on Thursdays? Is it on Fridays? How can I show up? And if you do not have a consistent way of showing up, then your business is going to suffer. And understand, I cannot give you the magic formula, because I've tried a lot of people magic formulas and it didn't work for me. But what I had to tap into is, what does Carolyn want to see in her business? How does Carolyn want to help people? How does Carolyn want to show up for her audience? How does Carolyn want to be a part of another person's world? Like, how? And what these other creators are saying, they may not be business owners. What these other creators are saying, they may not know how I see people and how I want to show up organically, how I want to feel like I want to be all in your business. I want you to succeed. That's why my business is called Training You to Succeed. I want you to stand confident. I want you to know how to create things for yourself until you're able to get the money to hire an AV. I want to educate you. I want to pour into you, and I want to be your hype girl. And I want you to know that there's not a question, if you're a part of my community, that you have that I won't answer. So that may look different for someone who does not believe that. So I wanted to change the game when I came live with this, because I'm not going to tell you like this should be you. I'm going to give you suggestions. I'm going to give you recommendations. But at the end of the day, you have to find your voice in your business and how you want to show up consistently. Right? So the platform algorithm is their business model. It's about being seen more. Whereas your platform is for marketing channels only. Knowing that you need to choose the platform that you will be seen most. Stop trying to be everywhere. Be somewhere. Be somewhere consistently. Like people are like, oh, but you're not on IG. No, I'm on Facebook. Go find me on Facebook. Oh, you're not on TikTok consistently. No, I'm on Facebook. That's where I make my money. Why should I like stretch myself? I'm going to show up sometime over there. Now I've added it to my business strategy, but at first it's like, I'm going to show up where my money is. I'm not trying to be everywhere. I'm trying to be somewhere consistently. Understand that you are a business owner who creates content. Your goal is not to go viral. It is to attract the right people and convert them into paying clients. It's like, I went viral. Okay, how much money did you make? I know people who gone viral that made no money today. Whereas I may have gotten like 500 views, but I made money today. I made money from freebies, from funnels that I have out there. I made money from evergreen product. I made money from videos. I made money today. But did I go viral today? No. People are going to come here and watch this on YouTube, an hour, 2 hours. They're going to watch it in high speed. And at the end, I may have like 100 views, 200 views or whatever. But the question is not how many views, but how many of you guys actually came into my ecosystem and decided to become a part of one of my programs. And at the end of the day, I hope you guys know that you're here and I'm sharing this with you, but I also want you to grow with me. I want you to come along with me. I either want you in one or two places. I either want you to be a part of my weekly content, where you're a part of my Boss Access community, where I partner with Terry Lee, who can help you get your speaking together, because you're like, well, I'm not a speaker. Everybody who's a business owner is a speaker. Speaking may not be your business, but your business may not be speaking, but speaking is your business. It is your business to speak to people and make sure that they understand your product. So I'm either going to invite you at the end to come and join Nat for $30 a month, where you hang out with us every Tuesday, be a part of a community. I share content. We do experiences like this. Or you're going to say, I want to be real serious with my business, and you're going to enroll in Boss School, which is a 15-week program where we break down your business and make sure that everything is connected and working. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm just here. I'm here to help you be able to do some things to make enough money so that you can be a part of paid services, because that's where you're going to get the most. And if I can get you to make $100 a month and $30 of it can go towards you being a part of the Boss Access, hey, we're doing the thing, because I know once you make that first 100, it's not going to stop. You're going to continue to go. And my idea these 3 days is to get you to make money. But if this is not together, if you don't know who you are, if you thinking you a content creator and you not, and you pretending to be one, that's why you're frustrated. I am very clear. I am a business owner who creates content. A business owner who creates content. I do that for my brands. Training you to succeed in business, training you to succeed for early educators, Style It Up Boutique, and Teachertopia. I am a business owner who creates content. Now, Carolyn, me, on my personal time and my personal page, my goal is to be a content creator in order to get more affiliate deals, to get in front of more people. But right now, my goal is to just create content for my business to make them $1 million businesses. Because at the end of 2026, I want to be already billionaire status. So I'm very clear about that. So are you clear? Are you just focusing on posting? Let me just post something. And it has no strategy. It's like, what are you doing? Well, Carolyn, I don't want to talk about my business all the time. That's why you do it on your business page. You don't have to. But if someone is on your business page, they expect you to talk about your business. They expect you to share what you offer. Get off of that whole personal page stuff. Get off of it. Because the reason why you feel like you're bothering people, because you are giving them information that they didn't opt in. They opted in to see your personal life, to see you, what you do, not to see your business. And that's why you don't get the views. And that's why you don't get the contacts and all of that. So I get really excited when it comes to talking about this being a priority in your life. And today, this is just a talk. We are going to get into some demos midweek, but I just want to kind of like free your mental a little bit. I want to free you from the bondage of thinking you have to do something a certain way. I want you to be authentic in who you are and what you do, and that is going to make you the best person to create content for your business. And if you don't do it right first, you can't even outsource it to somebody else because it doesn't have a voice. I can now outsource some of my things because people can look at it and be like, oh no, that's not Carolyn. I have a very unique style. Very niche, the way I even show up on camera, the way you guys are watching me now. Most people would be just like in regular, like just on YouTube, without transitions, without the screen, without the background, without the comments coming up. But this is my style. Is it your style? Maybe not. But you have to figure out what is best for you and what is going to work for you and show up. And now, as my assistant, as they prep me for getting ready, they already know, oh, that's Carolyn. Yeah, this is how she's going to want that. Don't give me no dry black and white stuff. I need to see my brand colors. I need them to pop. I paid a lot of money for branding, so I need to be on brand. Even my background, even the colors. If I turned on the light right now, you guys will see that this is a green velvet couch with leopard print on it. Leopard print pillows. I don't have leopard print on today, but I will have leopard print on tomorrow. It has to go with pink. Those are my brand colors. And that's how I show up, like everywhere across all of my brands. That's just who I am. And now when I hire a VA or assistant, it's not hard for them to edit my stuff because they can look at my previous stuff that I've created and say, okay, this is on brand for her. This is on brand for her. I can remember when I was going through rebranding and I was working with this agency, and it's like, I couldn't have given it to them. I had to basically like go look Either y'all are going to get fired midway or you're going to listen to what I like. And then they start listening, and then we got through the branding process. But if I didn't have the examples, if I didn't have previous posts, previous things that I had created, then they wouldn't have had anything. Oh, thank you, Elise. Yes, my colors are pink and green and gold. And the reason why the gold is integrated, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of tea, is because I like leopard print. So I know that if gold is in my logo, I can always integrate leopard print. So that's why the gold is there. So those are my brand colors. So what are you? Like, how are you showing up? And sometimes it takes playing around. I played with a lot of stuff before I showed up. Like, I can show you guys some of my old stuff, and it wasn't like it is now. And it's going to get better. This is not the best of the best. And I'm making more time for it. Yeah, you can never go wrong with animal print. Like, that is the statement of the year. Leopard print is the new black. Like, it is like the foundation of my colors. And so in all my business, it shows up. And that's like a little touch of Carolyn. It's like, oh, it's leopard. This must be Carolyn's business. Or she must be the CEO of this business. Yes, because it's going to have a little leopard in there. For even my boutique, it's red and leopard and turquoise. And then my Teachertopia is like a soft pink, leopard and turquoise in those same colors. And then my other one. So yeah, okay, yours is pink, orange, yellow, and purple. Okay, yes. And so those colors should show up so that when you're creating content, people know it's you. You know an ad that's by me because it's gonna look like me. And if it ain't by me, you're going to be like, oh, that look a lot like Carolyn. I'm surprised that's not Carolyn. It's going to be close to it because I'm going to always be like on brand. So let's talk about that. Now, let's get into platforms. And I gave you guys like a little bit of a cheat sheet to help you understand like posting like stories and reels, because I get a lot of questions about that. It's like, okay, Carolyn, should I do a reel or should I do a story? Should I do a carousel? Should I do a live? Like, what is that? So what I did is I kind of added those specs so that you guys can understand how you want to show up. Now, if you want the maximum amount of reach, you're going to create a reel. How do you create a reel? A reel is usually 9x16 vertical, and you can either create it with your cell phone, you can create it with other devices, but just make sure that it's 9x16, because if you do it horizontal, it's going to put like black boxes above and below. If you did do like a long form content, I'm going to talk about repurposing content later on this week, because we make this thing like way too hard. Really, you should just be doing like one video and then breaking it up and sharing it to drive people to where you need them to go. But we'll talk about that strategy later. But your reel can be, up to 90 seconds. The ideal for good reach is usually like 15 to 30 seconds. I usually try to keep mine in that window, sometimes 60 seconds if I'm like trying to teach something and break something down. But reels are good across all platforms. They work with shorts on YouTube. They work with Instagram, Facebook, and they work with TikTok because they are like that format. It is a pre-recorded video. And so a lot of times when you do talking head to figure out your style, or you're doing a video with transitions, or you're doing pictures that you want to add music to, the first thing that's going to happen inside of Meta Facebook is that when you post the video, instantly it's going to put you in reel settings. Now, can you back it up or go back to the original page? I'm going to show you guys some demos with that, because Facebook has become a little bit tricky with playing with that on your phone. So tomorrow I'm going to show you guys what that looks like when you are uploading a video, to kind of help you to be able to post more consistently. And so also it gives you the opportunity to use trending audio, and with trending audio, adding music to it, not just your own music when you're creating it, but adding the audio from the platform. So here's a little tip about, creating reels. What I do when I create my reels, I go ahead and create my reels and I edit it, but I do not add music when I'm editing it. My favorite editing tool we'll talk about in just a second is going to be Edits. CapCut. Yes, I like CapCut, but Edits is free. So I'm Edits, and that's EDITS, and it's free, and it's an Instagram tool. So when I created with my captions and no audio. I don't choose the audio until I upload the reel. And that way I can choose a trending audio for that platform, whether it is on TikTok, whether it is on Facebook, whether it is on Instagram, because depending on if it's a personal or professional page versus a business page, the audio rights are going to be different. And so a lot of your audio gets banned, or it can't be posted or shared because you pulled a piece of audio from another platform and it doesn't work on the other, and it will end up being muted, especially if you have more than 60 seconds of that audio. So just go ahead and create and edit your reels and put your captions on, and then choose your audio once you get into the platform, and that will help you to be able to do what's trending on that particular platform. Understand that stories can be up to 60 seconds. They disappear in 24 hours, and they're 9x16 verticals, and they can be behind the scene videos. They can be quick updates. It can be links. You can add links to stories. I absolutely love them. They're good for conversationals, things that you don't want to live on your timeline forever. This is where we talk about unbranded, like curated things versus uncurated things. Typically, if it's something that has like a date on it, and it's going to be like an event that's coming up, or something that is not a person can land on my page and always be a part of, I make it a story. But that's my rule of thumb. So I love to do on my business page carousel stories where a person can go to the next one and learn, and it has music to it, and then at the end it has a link to it, and then it goes away within 24 hours. Can I repost it? Of course I can repost it again as a story if I want to, but I do that for things that I don't want to live on my timeline. Like, right? Because if I'm having an event, I don't want a person to come there and see that my last event was like 2023 or 2024. I want them to come there and like see some current videos, see some current teaching. So things that are stories are things that you want to disappear after a period of time. Carousels can be up to 20 slides, and they're usually like square format, and this is why they are great for IG. All right, unless you are doing a carousel story. So a carousel story would be on a 9x16 format, but a carousel that you swipe on Instagram would be a 1x1 square. And again, I'm going to show you guys different examples of these inside of Canva. That's why you're going to come back tomorrow to see my live demos, which you guys know is my favorite thing to do. And so but I want to kind of get you guys the basis so that you are ready here. Plus I have some more bonuses for you if you stick around with me to the last day. You guys know I love to give away some stuff. All right, so those are carousels. Now, what happens if you share a carousel on Facebook? So a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to share stuff across multiple platforms. Well, if you share a carousel on Facebook, it's just going to be like pictures all out of sort. It's not going to be where you can swipe. So if you want to share a carousel on Facebook, I would do it as a story. If you're doing it on Instagram, you can do it in that 1x1 square or 4x5 portrait, which is the new format for Instagram, so that they can save it, they can share it. Again, when you're creating this, you want a strong hook on the first line so that people can take the time to learn from it. I love carousels. I save them all the time to learn different things. I think they're a really fun way for Instagram for you to deliver training as opposed to a talking head, so that people can just look at it and save it and watch it a little bit later. If you know me, lives, I love lives. Okay, I go live right now. We're changing our live schedule for the month of April. But if you've been with me some time, you know that I do Plantational Sunday on Sunday. We have taken a pause on Plantational Sunday. Why? Because we have a new intro and the way that we want to show up in Plantational Sunday. So more about that coming soon. But it's real-time engagement. I love it. I love to see you guys' comments over there. I love to see, like, you know, like the things that you guys have to say, the questions that you have, all of the above, so that I can answer them in real time. And so lives are one of my favorite things, and that's why I decided to do this as a live on YouTube, so that it can attract people who are followers of me already, who subscribe to me already. And that's a reminder right here. if you have not already, go ahead and ding, hit that subscribe button, because after this experience, you guys are going to want to be subscribed to my channel, because I have series of videos on how to use some of these tech that I'm going to talk about in here that I can't really get into in 2 hours, but I'm going to be having like a series of videos that is going to really help you be your own tech person until you can hire a tech person. So ding, subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you know when I'm live here, so that you know when I post a video, and I am going to see just how many subscribers are going to actually click it, ding, 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 and subscribe to this channel. All right, so then you can post on your feed, and that is just going to be like a graphic, like a flyer or a static photo or a picture or a quote or an announcement. It has less reach than a build, but it does make your timeline pretty on Instagram and on TikTok. Aesthetically, it makes things look good. Okay. So, there are different styles, and guys, Instagram used to be all about the aesthetic feed. Like, I would just spend hours scrolling on Instagram and trying to be like, oh, I want to create that aesthetic feed. And it's like, okay, Carolyn, just get the information out there and you can worry about aesthetics later. And so I think now that clientele has boosted, I want to go back and work on those aesthetic things in there. You see, we got goals together. We got goals, good goals, right? And so understand the difference between these different types of posts, how long, what they do, and I've even given you examples of how to best use them. So what I want you to do is go in and kind of check or highlight the ones that you feel would work for you the most. Which ones would be better for you? Do you think that you're more of a reels girl, a stories girl? Do you like lives? Do you like, whatever it may be? And so once you decide, how you want to show up, it's going to be a little bit better. Then if you're a TikTok person, it gives you some ideas of TikToks, short videos that you can post on your TikTok. Again, these are vertical videos. Longer videos can be up to 10 minutes. Lives, there is a limit on lives. When it comes to going live on TikTok, you have to have a certain amount of followers. If you're a business page and you establish a business, you can go live as a business. TikTok lives can get some really great engagement. I've done it a couple of times myself, and we're adding that to our strategy. That's why we've kind of paused on going live Plantational Sunday, because now with my Ecamm Live, we have a new setup where I can stream live across all the platforms. And of course, I want Instagram to enjoy Plantational Sunday. I want TikTok to enjoy Plantational Sunday. And at first I was trying to say, okay, I'm going to do Plantational Sunday at different times. And that's just not going to work for our business structure. So we are revamping, and that's why we're coming back with a stronger, more reach Plantational Sunday. And again, there goes those stories. And just like IG stories, they disappear after 24 hours, and they're 60 seconds. And they're a great way for you guys to get reach with those carousels. Okay. Like those carousels. So like, make sure that you can create a video that is a carousel, especially in Canva. You can do 9:16, put transitions on there, and then download it as a MOV or as a GIF, and then it will create like a little video, and you can upload that way a person can look at your training as carousel via like video style. So I'll show some of those examples as well, so make sure you guys come back for that. Then on YouTube, you can do shorts. They can be they have to be under 60 seconds, and they can be 9:16. And I think that I updated this because now you can go up to 3 minutes on that. That is what 90 seconds on 100 and what is it? No, 60 seconds, 180 seconds, up to 3 minutes now. And so you can repurpose reels and make them shorts. You can repurpose TikToks here. You can drive traffic to your long form content. And that is like our short strategies that we're using in 2026 is to drive people to our longer form content, for people to join our master classes. And so this video that you're watching now is considered a live, but it is going to convert into a long form content because we will leave it on our YouTube channel. It will not disappear. We will put it in our masterclass type funnel, experience funnels, and this is where I'm going to put all of my experiences, so people who may or may not know me can start off with an experience before they come into one of the trainings. So if you're just wondering what strategies you should use, if you're wondering what you should start with where you're at already and then layer it and build on. Okay, so in the comments, where do you hang out the most? Do you hang out on Facebook the most, or Instagram, TikTok, or on YouTube? I would love to see that in the comments. Tell me where you guys are hanging out. Love that. So while I get that on there, I do want to go into understanding your content purpose. Let me ask you, why the heck are you posting in the first place? Why? And reason why I'm asking you why is a lot of us just want to post. Okay, we have Dorian on all of them. I'm going to pull up you guys' comments in just a second here. And I'm going to tell you guys this. If your content doesn't have purpose or you're not clear on what you should be posting, that is why it's not leading into cash. That's why. There's no strategy behind it. And so I'm going to get into some reflection questions. And I would encourage you, if you have multiple businesses, to do this for each one of your businesses and including your personal page if you're going to be creating content for your personal page as well. So the first thing that I am going to get into is, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Now let's take a look at these platforms that you guys are on. Let's see here. All right, we have you living intuitively on all of them, showing up on all of the platforms. We have Karen, the breath coach, that is on Facebook and IG mainly. Okay, then we have Elise Anthony. She hangs out on Facebook and LinkedIn, but working on Substacks. Oh, okay. Oh, Substacks. Okay, that's a conversation in itself. At least we need to connect about Substacks. Okay. All right, LinkedIn, okay, is actually where my people are. Yes, that's where professors are. They hang out there. And I would say that a lot of them too nowadays are, believe it or not, on TikTok. Yeah. Yes. So those are the places that you guys are hanging out on. And so now I'm going to get into like your actual purpose of your content. So now that you guys are going to choose where you're going to show up more, if you've already started showing up consistently in one place, go ahead and add another strategy on there because you want to have reach. And I like to break it down like this. For every short-term place that content lives, you should have a evergreen long form. And what I mean by evergreen and long form, meaning that it lives there and it's searchable content. That is going to be your YouTube, your TikTok, and your Pinterest. Everyone should have one of those three in their strategy. And I would even go so far as making sure if you have a business, like a business page in Google, posting content to your Google page. Those are searchable content places. Then you can have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, I think it's Blue Vine, Twitter, X, Threads, all of those are like short term, like the content flow is really fast. And if the person doesn't go to your timeline exactly, they will not see your post after a couple of days, right? So for every short strategy like Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, Bluevine, all of those, you should have a long evergreen strategy, which should include either Pinterest, TikTok, YouTube, or Google. Okay. We want searchable content, and now Facebook is really working towards trying to make real searchable, as well as Instagram. But I just don't see people like, oh, let me figure out how to thread this needle, and they say, let me go look on Facebook. No, they're going to be like, let me go look on TikTok, or let me go look on YouTube, or let me Google it, or let me look on Pinterest, so I can get an idea. And so I want to encourage you guys that if you already have that chart, I'm going to come up with a name for them. I can never think of it. I'm going to coin something. I'm going to come back tomorrow with some names for these different things. If you are already on one of those short-lived platforms where the content doesn't live for a long time, consider adding in your next step one of those four, either TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, or Google. So that should be your next thing. Why? Because you want to be a part of searchable content. All right. So now let's get clear on who you're talking to. You have to actually look at the camera and be able to see that person in order to create good content for them. Whenever I am sharing or thinking about what I want to share, I see the business owner struggling with some of the same things that I struggled with. I don't get fancy with my words. I just lean right into like, hey girl, I know you broke. I know you're not making that money. I know that you really want to make money. I know that your product is good enough to make money, but for some reason, you're not making money. And it's like, yeah, that is true. Like, what's my problem? It's because you don't have a strategy. You don't have a strategy that includes evergreen products. You are steadily exchanging time for money. You think that the more you show up, the more money you're going to make. And that is a mindset that people want to keep you in, but that is not true. It's not true at all. All right. So we have to have an evergreen strategy. We have to have this. And so when I am thinking about my ideal client, I think about the entrepreneur who is probably working a full-time job, the entrepreneur that has multiple ideas and don't know where to start, the entrepreneur who wants to be a full-time business owner, but just don't know how to make that transition. I think about the entrepreneur who is overwhelmed because they can't afford a virtual assistant. They can't afford somebody to do the tech for them, so they have to figure it out themselves. And so when I create content, whenever I create workshops, classes, I am talking to those people. So I use their language. When I say, you may want a VA, but before you get a VA, you have to have some systems in place. Otherwise, you're going to be paying that VA and she's going to be looking at you. Like, where is this? Where is this? Like, dang, what I had a VA for? I still got to create. Yes, you still have to communicate. So if you can't do it for yourself, it's going to be really hard to do it with a VA because they're still going to require you to send copy. They're still going to require you to send your videos. They're still going to require you to do the work. So if you don't start it now, it's going to be a tough one. So think about your ideal client. Who are you talking to in your videos? Maybe even give her a name. Give it a title. Put a picture. If you're talking to your old self, put a picture of your old self. Like, we always want to talk from a place of being reformed, like a place of being healed. No, you need to go back to your broke self and understand what you were saying when you were broken and going through it before you got delivered or healed and became this new person, and start speaking that language. People don't know that they need to breathe because they do it naturally. They do it involuntarily. So what was it like just breathing involuntarily, Karen? How did that feel? What did that look like? So how do I know that I need breathing work? Because you're telling me I need breathing work does not mean that I'm going to resonate. But if you start talking about my symptoms, if you start talking about the problems that I have, you may say, hey, do you feel like tightness in your shoulders? Do you feel tightness in your chest? Do you feel like, you're going to have a nervous breakdown at any moment? And I'm like, yes, I can relate with that. And then you say, girl, you know what? You just need to learn how to breathe. And I'm going to be like, what? I know how to breathe. I breathe every day. No, breathe the right way. So who are you talking to in your content? Then once you figure out who you're talking to, how you gonna help them? So I know I'm talking to those people. I know I'm talking to those passionpreneurs. I know I'm talking to those who are sick and tired of exchanging time for money. And then what do I tell them? Let me help transform your life and make it a little bit easier. Let me show you how to create a digital strategy for yourself. Not only create it for yourself, but implement it so that you're not overwhelmed when you go to that funding source every day. You're not overwhelmed when you're sitting at home. You don't know what to do with yourself. You don't know what to post next. You don't know what to do. You have to tell people about the transformation. You have to tell people about the solution. But before you give them a solution, you have to let them know that the problem that they have, you can connect to. The problem that they have is something that you can deliver. And if you just sit down and write down all the problems that your clients have, if you sit down and write down all the solutions that you have, that's content right there. You will have enough content for probably the rest of 2026. So who are your people? How do you help them? And where are your people hanging out at? When I think about my clients, my platform strategy is different per business. Okay? And the reason why it's different per business is because my ideal client for one business is not hanging out the same place that my ideal client for my other business is. So you really got to sit and ask, not what platform you want to be on, but what platform is your ideal person on? And when I did a little research on my ideal client, I asked them, what platforms are you mostly on? And when they told me, I was like, okay, I got to get more versed in those platforms because that's where they're hanging out at. And sometimes we overwork ourselves. We work ourselves to the bone and still don't get the results that we want. Well, we can just go ask the person who's our ideal client what they want and where they at, what they do. It's very simple. And we make it so hard. Don't make it hard. So where is your ideal client hanging out? Then, before we even get started, I always tell people when I am about to go on a road trip, I know where I'm going. I put it in my GPS and I drive there. And if I want to make stops along the way, I add stops. I add different things, but I know where I'm going. I don't just be like, well, let me just get in the car and I'll just figure it out. Absolutely. I know where I'm going. And that's only like right. But it's so funny when it comes to our content strategy in our business, we don't know where we're going. We just be like, I'm just going to get out of here and just go all willy-nilly and I'll end up where I end up at. Some of y'all in the deep blue sea right now. And you trying to find your way back to land. So ask yourself, where are you going with your content? What is your primary goal? Is it to get leads right now so that you can sell later? Or do you have enough leads? Now you want to start selling. Or you want to make people familiar with your brand awareness? Or are you trying to educate people? And right now you just want to educate because eventually you are going to ask them for the sale. What's your primary goal right now? And I know you're like, to make money, Carolyn, that's why I'm here. But in order to make money, you have to have eyeballs. So if you don't have eyeballs yet, you need more leads. You need more brand awareness. You need to educate people more on what you do. And if you have the views, the people on your page, the leads, now it's time to sell to them. So what is your primary goal right now? What does your list look like? Because that's content creation too. Your email list is a part of your content creation, and you should be sending out emails to your list. Not to get them to buy something, but to educate them, to let them know what's going on, to give them training, do some video tutorials for them, lead them to your TikTok, or lead them to your YouTube channel where you're teaching. And as we're talking about tools like the script, what it will do is take your video, turn it into a blog and an email, and you just put it in there with the video link and then send people to the video. You've already created the video, so why not create additional content for your people? Not everybody is on TikTok. Not everybody is on YouTube. But if you send them an email and you're like, hey, I did a really good overview or training on this, come check this out, they'll check it out. And they'll be like, dang, that was good. So as we're looking at the bigger picture of things, what's your goal here? Why are you just creating reels? Why are you just creating videos? What is the goal of that? Well, I just want people to know this is what I do. For what? Oh, I just want to show up because, the more I show up, the more you show up what? The more money you're going to make? Because that's not necessarily true. It is what you're showing up and saying and how you're leading people to help you reach the goal. I want you to go to your social media, your LinkedIn, your TikTok, your Facebook, wherever you posted at last. And I want you to ask yourself, does it align to the goal that you have for content? Every time I see something and I get an idea, I ask myself, hey, what is that going to lead to? All right. It's going to lead to education. Ooh, as long as I'm educating them, I'm going to keep them in my ecosystem. And if I'm educating them, they know that I have solutions. So when I do make my offer, they're more likely to buy. Like, man, I need to grow my list. I'm into my list growing. And guys, this may change month to month, week to week. Like, dang, I need more people on my list. I think that is the problem, And then it's like, I don't think people know what I do enough. I think I need to put out there, a little bit about my brand. So your goal may change, but what is the goal right now? And I want you guys to lean in on one of these. Lean in on it because it is going to help drive clarity in your content. Right? Then I love to teach people to think in themes. And when I say that is, what is your theme of information you want to deliver? So for example, I know in 2026, people are struggling with content for their business. So I know that my theme right now is about content. Being consistent with your content, having a plan for your content, having a strategy for your content, making sure that your content leads to people having the option to buy from you. I don't want to sit there and watch all your stuff and then I don't know how to buy from you. Because that's just like, is it lined up? Is it ready to go? Can I at least get on your wait list? Can I get can I just get on the list so you can email me and let me know when it's ready for me to buy? That's what people want. They want to know how they can get the thing. So think about 3 core themes that you can focus on this year. It doesn't even have to be. So I'm gonna tell you guys some of my themes that I'm going to be focusing on is not just content creation, but creating business strategy systems with your your lead generators, with your evergreen product, being crystal clear about what you want to deliver in your customer journey. I can tell you now, I hate the word funnel because people are like, I have my funnel. And I'm like, really? Do you have one? Because from what I saw, you just have an opt-in page. From what I saw, you just have like a social media post and a freebie. That's not what that means. And so I love to X that word because the word is used so much, and say, do you have your customer journey together? So a lot of the content that I will be teaching about is your customer journey from start to finish, which includes your content. And if your content game not strong, the journey is going to be kind of wobbly. So from that content, how does it lead to them becoming a part of your world? Then once they get in your world, what are you giving them? And then do they know that they can buy from you, and have they purchased from you? And if they have not, how can you persuade them to buy something from you? Spend $1 with you, 50 cents with you. Like, find out where they're at so that you can continue to help them grow. That is a journey. And a lot of times we see a funnel as, let me just weed out all the people that don't belong, as opposed to nurturing the people and helping them along their journey. And everybody's journey looks different. How I ended up here is not how Elise ended up here, or how Karen ended up here, or how Dorian ended up here, or how Melissa ended up. It's not how we all ended up here. It's not the same. Our journeys were different. And if we can focus more on the journey when we're creating this content, then you will convert more people. So what themes can you really focus on over the next couple of months for the rest of this year to help people? And when you start thinking in themes, those ideas will start to come. So maybe understanding for a whole month why breathing is important. Like, let's talk about Karen, like why breathing is important. Then, the effects of breathing. So like that may be her theme. Then she may say, okay, my next theme is like creating an environment that allows you to breathe. And so she could talk about her gardens and all that. So what themes are you going to work on? And so in order for you to really take advantage of these 3 days and really level up your content and level up your cash flow, you have to do this work first. And I see people that want the results, but they don't want to sit and do the work. You're spending 2 hours with me. Block out another hour. So you say, hey, I'm going to go to training for an hour, and then at night for another 45 minutes, I'm going to do the work. Do the work. Find a platform, making sure that you understand who your client is. You can even go live and talk about this process. Say, you know what? I've been doing some work and thinking. Go ahead and comment below if you are struggling with this. Start polling your audience. Start getting feedback from them. This is the perfect time for you to start curating those business pages so that you know exactly what your people want. Ask them. And so I see in the comments, I'm not showing up consistently. Got to get into a schedule. Yes, even if it is twice a week, start off there. Even if it is once a week, but you do a live, and then we'll talk about repurposing it. As a business owner, remember, consistency is about visibility and trust. And you being there when you say you're going to be there. It's not about survival and just posting 100 times a day. You want to attract the right people. So you want to make sure when you are putting this content on your business page, you're saying the right words and the right things. When you're sharing it to your personal page, that you're saying, hey, family and friends, if you find some use in this, you're your own referral on your personal page. I want you to see it that way. You have your business that you work for, and you as an individual are referring people on your page to that business, which is yours. It's a referral. It's a recommendation. I am Carolyn, and I recommend you to Train You to Succeed, which I am the CEO of. Hi, I'm Carolyn. I recommend you to Boss Access, which I am a collaborative partner in. So as we are looking at this content, as we are looking at these questions of reflection, I want to, take the last 15 minutes to answer questions that you guys may have as you are doing this work. I want to take the time to invite you to join our Boss Access. The link is in the description box. It is an amazing opportunity, and I'm going to go into what it includes tomorrow. I have a little quick commercial on there, and then I'm going to give you a sneak peek into Boss School as well, if that's something that you want to grow. But you may not be there as of yet, and I say start where you can. Start where you can. Invest into a community that's going to help you be around like-minded business people and to keep you on track so that you can show up consistently. So we're going to open it up for some live Q&A, and I'm going to go to my Q&A page. And as you guys are putting your questions in there, I do want to bring your attention to the bonus sheet. And in the bonus sheet, I hear people saying this all the time. Hello. I don't know what to post. Everything can be content as long as it ties into your ideal client. So you can post questions that a client may ask you. I get so many questions. I could actually do like a year worth of content with questions that people ask me. Ask me questions about their LLC. They ask me questions about their business structure. They ask me, what is evergreen? Like questions that people ask me. I could do just ask questions and pop it up and do posts about that. So I gave you guys some cool ideas that we overlook for content creation. And I've also given you thing to create B-roll, and we'll talk about what B-roll is and what that looks like. Startup and equipment, like start with your phone. I gave you guys some gear, a gear link to some of my gear that I use, as well as some of the tools that I use, how to repurpose content. And like I gave you guys a full-time content creator schedule, like full-time business owner, I should say. Let me clear up my words. Full-time business owner schedule, a part-time side hustler, and then a multi-business owner schedule. And so these came from like the things that I have worked on and the phases that I have been in. And then I've also helped you with the mindset. And so stop thinking that you have to sit down to create content, and understand that my life is already full of content. I just need to capture it. To capture it and make sense. And sometimes I'll film a video and I'll get this idea in my head, and that video will come to mind, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna pull that video. It's from like a year ago, but I'm gonna pull it and I'm gonna do a voiceover because it's related to what I want to say. I need to be in the mood to post. No, I post on a schedule, not on the feelings. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I love Content 360. You guys will see that in my reference list. Right now it's $67 for lifetime access, and it posts everywhere. Yeah, come up with $67, get on it, click my link, get on there. Lifetime access to this platform. Okay. And it does other things that I'll talk about this week as well. Instead of thinking, I'll post when things are perfect. Done and posted beats perfect and hidden. What you hiding for? Come out, wherever you are. And so I have some other little things on there to help you shift your mind when it comes to this content creation. So let's go over. You guys may or may not have questions. Karen says, do the work. Absolutely, Karen. Do the dang on thing. All right. The bonus sheet is a bonus book, and I love it. Thank you, Elise. Yes. I try to give you guys everything that you need, and I hope that it really help you with ideas. And this week I'm going to even show you guys how to take advantage of that and check it off, because what I want you guys in there doing, I want you to be business owners that's making this a priority. All right, these resources are fire. Thank you so much. And questions, I'm going to leave it up for questions. We have like about 10 minutes. Just feel free if you guys want me to take a look at your page and use your page as an example, or to give you feedback about what I see on your page and what's missing. I will definitely do an audit for you guys who are showing up live here. I mean, if you're taking time to spend time with me, I'm going to take time to spend time with you. And so if there is a page that you have and you want me to take a look at it and view it and bring it up to the forefront in our live training this week, I would love to do that. Okay, she says, what is the name of the video tool that transcribes video to text? That is going to be called Descript. Okay, that is Descript. And if you guys look at the resource page and you scroll down to the bottom of the resource page, I do have a little bit of a link that's right here that you can click on, and then it will take you to my resource page, and I'll pull that up real quick so that you guys can take a look at that. Okay, so over here is my page where you guys can see all the resources, and I did put the link in there. Kartra, mini chat, Descript, and that's the one that you're referring to. So if you click there, it'll take you to the Descript. And remember, with Descript, you can do a free trial on Descript where you will get 60 minutes a month, 100 Descript credits, all of that. So you don't have to pay for that. And then you'll see like down at the bottom too, you can book a call, and then I have other resources as well on there. So, and then I'll have another link for you guys this week as well that has not just those resources, but all of that. Okay, so I want to pull this question up because this is a common question. Okay, this one. All right, okay. What are your thoughts about the new professional mode on your personal Facebook page? I love professional mode because it allows me to get followers. And so with followers, I don't have to be friends with the people, but they follow me and I can tag them. So I do turn on my personal page is in professional mode so that I can monetize on that page as well as reach a further reach, but it is still for my personal content and not for my business. I share my business on my professional page, but I do not post intentionally about my business unless it's something that I want to share about on there on a live or something like that. But I love professional mode on Facebook because it does allow me to get followers and allow me to connect with people that I would not normally connect with without them having to be friend request me, so people can follow me. So I love the professional mode. All right, it says I've invested in my portfolio site, but my passion brand is outdated and my funds are spent. Do I need to try to mix up my old site myself or link elsewhere? All right, so it just depends on if it is if it is not representing of who you are and what you do. And what I would do is either, number one, if it is like really outdated, it is not up and you don't want to use it, create something in Canva. Or I'm going to drop another link inside of the content inside of the hold on for me 1 second. And this one is called Lovable, and I'm gonna drop my my link for that in there, and you can basically create a landing page for free. You get 5 credits today. It may take you a couple of days to build it out, but what you could do is just vibe code, and I'll talk to you guys about vibe coding in our next session. But with vibe coding, you can create a landing page with the link and all of that. And I will definitely be doing a video on that coming up. And so click on the Lovable, download it, set up your account, and I'll talk about that tomorrow on how you can create a quick little landing page using Lovable with the 5 credits. And then you can probably vibe code alongside of me and then create that and then link them to that Lovable page. But I really love that platform to do some things. And then I think this link was also missing. Okay, there you go. And so that is a great way for you to create something that is a little bit different so that you are not stuck with that old site. So like if your funds are, I definitely can point you in the right direction, because sometimes our funds do get exhausted, and that's why we have to get you selling something as soon as possible with your content so that you can have funds to do the things that you want to do. But right now you got to do what you need to do, and that is get in front of it. And remember that some people don't even need like a link to be able, all you need is like a Canva page and a person to be able to check out, or a Canva page for them to be able to opt in, and you can manually send the email later. What I'll do is show you some other free ways for you to do it, and invite you to my Cash on Replay, my free experience, for you to kind of follow me through those steps to create something as well. But if you are tapped out in funds, don't keep reinvesting in something that hasn't made you money. Use something free to make you money instantly, and then you can go back and reinvest in that. So I hope that answers your question and your and help you. But yes to professional mode, switch that mode, and no, don't reinvest, and just send them somewhere else and create something really quick and easy. And I know you can do that through Lovable. All right, any more questions before we close out today? Like, guys, you don't have no, I enjoyed this, the views that have come in, the conversation, the questions. Take a look at the description box. Jump in if you have not already to my free Passionpreneur community. If you don't have the link to that Passionpreneur community, it should be in the description box, or I will update it and make sure that you guys get that, because that is where that's where the action is. That is where the action is. And then lastly, you will see a link in there. If you have not joined Boss Access, or the Boss Access community, you're missing out on double the fun. Terry Lee and myself, she works on your speaking and making sure that the words that you're saying is absolutely magnetic to your audience, and bringing people in. And I help you with your business strategy, your digital products, and building out those digital things that we pay people so much money to, that we can invest in someone to teach us those things until we can afford those people. So Thank you guys so much. Yay! We have just completed day 1. I will see you guys back here tomorrow, same time, different link, but the same place, at 12 from 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time to 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you come back with questions, just come right in the room and drop those questions, because I know after you do the homework and do the work, you may have questions. So please come back with those questions, and I'll be more than happy to coach and answer them for you. Again, thank you guys so much. I am Dr. Carolyn Bobb-Green, and as always, I look forward to training you to succeed in your business. Have an amazing day.